Hi and welcome to Excel Cafe Management System developed using VBA. Okay guys, so let me show you guys how it works. I'm going to click on reset and there we go. Okay, you click on any of those checkbox, that's what you get. Okay, let's say we want 6 iced cappuccino, and then let's go for maybe 5 American coffee, and let's go for 7 African coffee, and cappuccino maybe 2, iced lolly 2, espresso, let's go for 6 of those there. And what about a curry pack chocolate? Yeah, Kilburn chocolate, Boston cream cake, and Black Forest cake. Let's go for Lagos 1 2. Yeah, there. And red velvet. Okay, those are my selections. All you just need to do is click on total and there. So those are supposed to be the customer's request, and you can also issue a receipt right there. So that's how it works. So what I will do now guys is to take you guys straight into Excel, and we put one of these together using VBA. So let's do that now. Hi, this is an Excel VBA Cafe Management System. So I'm going to start by clicking on the developer tool, but if you don't have the developer tool on your system, go to file, select options, and come to customize ribbon, and that is your developer tool. If it's not checked, you need to check it right there and click on OK. Now that the developer tool is ready, you can also select Alt F11, that is it now, right there, Alt F11, and then select Visual Basic. Once you are in this development environment, which is the VBA development environment, go to Insert, select UserForm. That is your form. Now select the property, or you can right click and grab the property there. I will now define the size of my form, so I'm going to make that approximately the height. I'll make the height approximately 600, and I'll make the width, let's make that approximately 1022 or maybe 24 there. Now I'm going to also change the back color, but first thing first, I would like to make sure I know the color of the background. I'm going to copy that color because I intend to use it for the component. But let's change the back color to black right there. Now I will now select frame, which is right there. That's the frame. Like I said earlier on, I would like to use that very color for my frame there. Now I've got my frame color back. Alright, I need a couple of those frames, so let's start by closing this and close this as well for now. So I need a frame right here, I need it up here, and drag it that much, or maybe just copy this very frame. I need a couple of those, and I'm going to need maybe 2 more of those. Okay, now drag this that much. Right, now the first frame, this very one here, bring it up here and just arrange it, let's say something like this, speed up the whole process, then get back to you guys. Okay, select both frames and just drag it down that much. Now bring these 2 frames here, and then just take it down. Just to make some rooms for the other one, and that will be here. Let's just drag this. Right, so that's how the frames looks for now. Okay, now that the frames are in place, let's come to the tools and select label. Yeah, a label here. I'm going to change the size of that label to, let's go for 72. Let's say font. Let's change that to 72. I intend to add an image there, so let's come in here. Now the image I intend to add will be as follows. Okay, let's get the image that I intend to use from Word. Those are the images I would like to use, and you can always find them here. If you select Insert, it's right here. Go to webbings. Right there, they are 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to copy it across. Let's select and copy. Now let's come straight into Excel, paste that in there, and now let's change the font type. I'm going to change that to webbings. There we go, right there. Yeah, so those are my images. Right, that's fine. Okay, so the next thing is, let's add another label here, and that very label I'm just going to type in, I think let's change that to 72 as well, or maybe something, yeah, maybe let's go for 60. Get back in there. Alright, and just enter in the cafe management system. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, this is how it looks now. Okay, I guess you guys can see it, and we can even run it there. Okay, so let me just save it. Let's come here and save, and we're going to be saving it as, let's come to Excel macro enable workbook. So let's give it a name, VBA cafe management system. Right, and just click on save there. Alright, the next thing is I'm going to need a couple of these, so let's increase the font size of this as well. Let's change that to, let's go for 20 and make it bold. Right, and right in there, enter as follows into the caption: ice cappuccino. There. So I'm just going to copy it across because I need a couple more. Move it up a little bit. Then the next one will be, let's go for American coffee. There. Alright. Okay. Let's put a knife in here. Alright, and just drag it that much. Right. Okay, the next one, let's go for, I'm going to call this African coffee. African coffee. Now I'll just speed that up. Okay, the next thing now, let's get TextBox in place. Right there. Let's draw it that much. Okay, we're gonna need a couple of those. Just speed that up anyway. And just 2 more here. Right there. Okay, so we can then copy all of these here. Let's just copy it all across. Right, for the other frame, and then change the content we have in this frame. Okay, if you guys have a good look at it, it's coming up gradually. So let's run it so that you see how it looks like. Alright, so let's change this. Maybe start with this. I'm going to change that to, let's go for coffee cake. Coffee cake. There. And the next one, that will be red velvet cake. Alright, so I will just speed that up now. Okay guys, this is how the whole system looks now. Let me just run it so that you guys see it. That is how it all looks. So what is left now is for us to start with the coding, and here I also have a text box where we can enter customers information into all, sort of like receipt. That's what goes in there, and we're going to have to make that text box multi-line. And we have text here. It's our text box as well. Labels. These are our labels, and here we have checkbox and buttons, and buttons. Okay, now let's take care of this. That's a very easy one. As we can just say unload me. Let's come back up here. There. Now let's get back into the main program itself. Okay, we now need to get the form involved. Let's double click on that, and yeah, that's the form. So let's use a different method here. Form activate. So which means when the form activates, I'll like the following, which is txt Africa. I think it's African dot. Okay, it's African dot text. I like it to default into 0. There. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing for America one. txt American coffee dot text equals 0. Alright, now let's do one more, and we can always speed up the rest. txt black dot text equals 0. Alright, so that is for the text box. Okay, this is how it all looks now. So the next one is, well, let me just run it for you guys to see. There, that is it. Those are the default values in there. So the next thing I want to do now is to make sure all of these, when they are run, they are disabled, or the text box, I mean. make sure the text box are all disabled. So let's go back in here. So let's come in here and just enter txt Latin. It's written e.text, or no, enable equals false. Right, now the next one will be, let's go for txt espresso enable equals false. So I'm just gonna speed that up as well. Then the other one that I would like to take care of would be chk Africa, I think it's African dot recheck let's see, I think it's dot enable as well equals false. Alright, so I will now speed all of these up and get back to you guys. Okay, this is how the form activate looks like. As for all of the text box, and here that's to disable the text box as well. And in here, those are for the check boxes. Actually, the checkbox, the value in VBA is called it is called value in VBA. It's not called enable or whatever. Check is fine. It's called value, so that's fine. Now, what else do we need to take care of here? Let's run it first, though. There, that's how it all looks for now. Okay, the other thing that I can easily take care of is the reset button here, which means I just copy that very lines of code that you guys saw earlier. These ones, copy it all. Yeah. And let's paste that inside the reset here. The reset button. Yeah. Right up there, paste. And the other one is going to be the reset. Let's clear the receipt. If the receipt is not cleared, we'll just clear that. Okay. And that'll be all for the receipt equals clear. Okay, so which means if there's anything there, we click on that. Let's say we enter something in there, we can always clear it. This one's nothing will happen for now apart from it defaulting back to how it was, as you can see. And let's just click on this there. Okay, we now need, when we click on this, we want this to enable that. So that's what we're going to do now. So what we want to do is, when we click on this, we want this to enable this. So let's come in here, double click on this, and following lines of codes. We enter the following lines of codes. Just let's indent it there. So as you can see, if that one is checked, if it's true, we enable the text box. Else, enabling the text box become false, and the text box value becomes 0. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other one. So I'm going to just copy that. Let's come in here, double click on the American, and then paste that in there. I just need to change the names around. Copy that. It's America. Same thing here. And there. Okay, let's try it out and see what's going to happen. Alright, click on that and click on the American one, uncheck. That is fine. So what is left now is when we click on the text box, we want the text box to set focus. Clear the system and set focus. So let's repeat that for the American text box. So with the American text box, paste that in there, .text equals clear and dot set focus. Right, the same thing will be repeated for other components. So okay, there's something here. We are meant to use different events, so let's come back in there and use different events, because we can't set focus without copy all of this and just cut it off. We'll go back in there, double click on it and select it or cut it off. If you have a look at the very first one, we used mouse down. So in the American way, let's change the event to mouse down there, and now paste that in there, and we can now try it out and see how it looks like. Alright, let's run that there and there. So when we click, we can enter value in there, and the same thing applies to this. So I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing for the rest of this and the ones on the other side. So I'll just speed that up. Okay, now we've finished populating these components each. Okay, it's exactly the same lines of code for all of them, just to decide which of the once this is checked and what will happen to the text box here, and that is for the espresso, and the same thing applies here. Okay, but one thing that is left is for the text box. I have completed one or two here. Yeah, it's completed, setting them clear and focus. So let me just copy that. Now come to the next one here, paste that in there, but the method, we need to change the method really. So let's come back in there and change the method to mouse down. Okay, when mouse is down, I would like veil to be cleared and focus set on veil and txt veil. Alright, that is taken care of. Now let's go to the next one. We'll repeat exactly the same thing for the next one. That's cappuccino. Change the events to mouse down, paste that in there and change that to cappuccino. Right, okay, now the next one is ice latte. Is it for ice latte? Yes. Okay. And we have espresso. Change the espresso as well to mouse down. Change that to mouse down. Okay, for the ice latte, I just noticed I was meant to change that to mouse down, the events. Let's change it to mouse down, just paste that in there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is latte. Change it to mouse down and paste that right in there, and just change the object to txt latte, or just delete the ice on it. Right, so I will now repeat exactly the same thing for the ones here. Okay, double click, come in here, change that to mouse down, paste, maybe copy this so that we can get it right, paste that in there and change the name TSTKC there. So I will now speed that up. Okay, the mouse move events is being entered for all of the text box. Okay, so what will happen is when we click on any of these, that's what happen. You see, it enables the text box, and we can always select. Once we click on the text box, mouse down, that is what happened. Then you can then enter the amount of whatever you want to get. So what is left now is we need to be able to click on the total button, and that will add up all of these. So let's go to, let's close that, double click on total, double click on that, and right there let's declare the following variable. Let's declare one for tax. Let's declare that as double. Yeah. And now we're going to assign some values to that. Let's say the value for the tax is 0.45. Okay, then let's declare the following. I'm going to declare some variable for the coffee, and this is for espresso. Then latte. Okay, here are the variables that are declared in the total, and I declared more variables here for both the cakes and the coffee. Now the variables are then assigned values, and I declare another variable here for the coffee, and whatever entered inside the text box are then assigned to the declared variables here, which are then used to, which are then multiplied with the values in here. Okay, the same thing applies to the cakes, and here these are the variables declared up there for the cakes. Here they are, values are then assigned, then the variables to store the values inside the text box. There they are. Okay, now bring it down, and here those are the variables for the drinks service charge. If you are thinking of what are those, and here they are: drinks, cakes, and service charge. Alright, let's go back in there, double click on that, maybe close this. Okay, there they are, and here this is where I take care of all the calculations. Have a good look at it. Let's have a good look at it. And there, this one I really don't need it. That's just to just leave that in there. It's right here actually. Alright, then from here down, all of them are then converted to pound sign. There they are. So have another look at it. I'm just going to take it up so that you see the beginning of the codes in total. That's total itself. Now bring it down up to here. I repeat the same thing here. And there, those are the lines of codes. So what I would do now is, let's give it a try. Let's click on those and we enter values in all. And let's repeat the same thing for these ones. I'm going to try test it all. and let's click on total. There, you see that it works as expected. So what I want to do now is to be able to click on the receipt, and all of the information here will be displayed on the receipt. So let's do that now. So we close that, double click on the receipt. Okay, for the receipt, and that is the first few lines of code, then we just need to speed up the rest, and there we go. Those are the lines of codes for the receipt. As you can see, when you click on the receipt button, it will actually clear whatever is in there the first time, and there. So have a good look at the receipt lines of codes. It's just the receipt itself, and there's a tab. The title is called Just Do Cafe. Then we have space and a space, then carriage return, and so on. Okay, so let's go onto the program. Let's run it and see. Supposing let me just show you guys the receipt. That is the receipt. Okay, in here maybe we need to move these. Let's move that and see what will happen. Let's go back into the receipt and just tab one more tab there. We have 4 already, so let's see, just one more tab and see what's gonna happen. Okay, let's run it again and see. If I click on that here, have that in there. Alright, now let's reset again, reset and reset. Okay, supposing we run the program, let's run it and see what's gonna happen. And we enter some value in there. Alright, and repeat the same thing for this one. That's for the cake, or the cakes. Yeah. There. Now click on total. There we have the total cost of everything. And although this tax is a bit small, that's okay though. Click on that. There. And the receipt, the total is not showing, so like showing down here. Okay, so maybe we should delete one. Let's delete one. Close that, give that a shot again, come back here, double click on that and just delete one of the tabs. Yeah, hopefully that should do it. Okay, we'll give it another shot. And that is how you create your own cafe management system in Excel using VBA. For your information, if you would like to populate the Excel spreadsheet itself, I have a tutorial on board. You can always do that yourself, or have a look at one of my previous tutorials on how to click on a button and all of the components in here we populate the Excel spreadsheet itself. Alright, click on total, add the receipts there, guys. And with that, I'm going to call it the end of this very interesting and beautiful tutorial. And bye for now. Please do subscribe.